So the announcement's been made, everything is official, and yes, indeed, Breyer, as was widely reported, and by yours truly yesterday, that he is in fact going to be stepping down at the end of the session, which will probably be at the end of June, early July, whenever SCOTUS decides to wrap up and not take any more Second Amendment cases, and instead just muddle fuck around with the First Amendment, a couple of free speech cases that don't really have any consequence, but that's just the John Roberts court in a nutshell. But no, this will be the final session for Breyer, and we know who is going to be there. Well, not specifically. It just ticks all the right boxes, okay? Because Biden made a statement after Breyer did. We're going to know who, and we're going to know who that specific person is going to be, not just the ideology in a corporeal form, by the end of the quarter, in fact. But before we get there, let's get to see what some of what Breyer had to say this morning. And it's very nice that he was holding up the Constitution that his successor is probably just going to look at and go, what the fucks is that? Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer officially announced his retirement Thursday, a day after the news leaked and was widely reported. Breyer, 83, told Biden in a missive that he had decided to retire all of a sudden, seemingly out of the fucking blue, man, and that he wants the decision to take effect when the court takes its summer recess, which typically happens in late June or early July. Yeah, when you're that old, you need to revisit the whole concept of a summer vacation. So for the fall sitting, I think that they reconvene after Labor Day or somewhere in October, but there'll be somebody new sitting next to, I think, what, is it Kagan? No, Kagan stands in the back row, Sotomayor on the left, okay? I don't know if they'll have to reposition everything because the incoming person is probably going to be a lot further left than what Breyer was. Breyer said he assumes his successor will be nominated by Biden and confirmed by the Senate by then. Yeah, we already know this now. I enormously appreciate the privilege of serving as part of the federal judiciary system. Nearly 14 years as a court of appellate judge, paraphrasing the old bastard, and nearly 28 years as a member of the Supreme Court. Term limits when the Clinton nominee wrote in the 2-paragraph document. So that's the last Clinton nominee, okay? Like I said yesterday, not the oldest nominee, not the longest serving nominee that's on there. That's still Clarence Thomas. Nominated in the only good thing that Bush Sr. did during his entire presidency, but unfortunately we'll have to talk about that at a much later date, barring anything catastrophic happening on the Supreme Court. This should be the last replacement for a really long time, because everybody else is relatively young in the context of them being in federal government. But I found the work challenging and meaningful. My relations with each of my colleagues have been warm and friendly. Throughout it, I've been aware of the great honor of participating as a judge in the effort to maintain our Constitution and the rule of law. Yeah, I don't like his decisions or anything, but at least they're consistent, okay? He thinks that the Constitution is a living document, and I think that he's retarded for thinking so, but it's always by the book, okay? It's not really charged by anything outside of that comprehension of the document that he apparently so lovingly cherishes. That's it. That's what he is. He's one of those old school liberals that are out there, and that generation is, well, quickly evaporating, and as you're seeing, this is just the first wave that are just aging out. Biden, who helped get Breyer confirmed in the 1980s as a senator. Oh, for the appellate court. Yeah, that makes sense. Called the day bittersweet while championing what he called Breyer's distinguished career. He had to be refreshed on what Breyer's accomplished, but ain't that a bitch? I guess probably I'll get to a day when I start to see the other people around me start to retire and then realize I'm the only bastard left in the room because all of my other friends have retired or died. But I guess that's what Biden's probably going through, if he was at least lucid enough. But this was early enough in the day, so Breyer gave faith to the notion that the law exists to help the people. No, that's not what the law... Oh, you fucking asshole. The law's there to govern and to be a guard and to be guide rails for society. It's not supposed to help. It's not supposed to harm either. It's the law. It's... Fucking Biden, man. Never misses an opportunity to fucking swing over the top of a pitch. He said in his prepared remarks, little jab, that's funny, in front of the crowd in the Roosevelt, that racist room. Oh my God, can you believe that there's still a Roosevelt room there? Teddy Roosevelt, that mean, evil man. He had his statue removed from outside the New York Museum of History earlier this month. Like, why would you make this a momentous announcement there? hopefully have something important to announce at the same time, Joe. Well, he did, okay, and hopefully that's in reconciliation to the fact that he had to do this announcement in the Roosevelt Room. It's because he confirmed what we talked about yesterday, and so it's 100% going to be fact. He will appoint a black woman, because that's not racist or discriminatory, specifically on the face of it. It's not racist, sexist, misogynistic, whatever the fuck it is, okay? It's definitely not on the face discriminatory at all. Probably doesn't break any laws that are out there, but he's Joe Biden, right? He can do whatever he wants. Presidents don't get to rule like kings unless it's me, and the rules are different. I think rules are there to help people, and I'm people, right? So they're there to help me. The president announced Thursday that he will appoint the first ever black woman, not the first ever black man though. AFK did that, and then you fought so vociferously against the second ever black man that's on the Supreme Court right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and try to sweep that under the rug real fucking quick now, aren't we? Hey. Don't go back and watch any of my questions that were asked, and I was bitched out by Clarence Thomas during the early 90s when he was in fact confirmed. No, don't go back and take a look at any of those questions there. I'm going to appoint a black woman because I'm going to break another glass ceiling. Not for the fact that they're the most competent or they're the most qualified that are out there. You could have made the announcement without having to make this announcement, and it would have seemed a little bit more merit-based, but no, the strong black independent woman who don't need no man, well, they're so exceptional on the face of them as being candidates for the Supreme Court that they need the help of a literal old white man in order to get there. So, yeah, no, good job, Joe. Biden made the announcement alongside retiring Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, who officially announced his intention to step down at the end of the court's summer term, obviously. Well, I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings. Sure you have, Joe. I've made no decision but one. The person I nominate will be somebody with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity, and that this person will be the first ever black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue, in my opinion. Why? I agree with most of what you're saying there until you get to the superfluous factors that they need to be a woman and that they need to be black, okay? You're cutting off a huge swath of incredibly, using your words here, extraordinarily qualified, extraordinary character, extraordinary experience, and extraordinary integrity. But nah, man, gotta get them woke points. Gotta appeal to your dwindling base now, don't you? Biden made the promise on the campaign trail last year, so at least he kept one campaign promise. I don't think fucking up the nation was on that checklist, but we can go back and take a look. Biden said Thursday that appointing the Supreme Court justice is one of the most serious constitutional responsibility a president had. That's why you bickered and bitched about it so incredibly when Trump had to do it, when he had that same constitutional responsibility being president to fill a vacancy on the Supreme Court. But hey, whatever, you do you, right? Biden said that Vice President Kamala Harris will play an advisory role in the selection process. Ergo, she's going to get her pick. I'm just saying. Citing her background as California's Attorney General and the fact that she failed the bar. Some have speculated that Harris could potentially be tapped in the seat in the Supreme Court. Yeah, I said it yesterday and she was part of the thumbnail, but it's like, that ain't gonna happen. It would make for a funny story and it would definitely be newsworthy and it would create a circus of distractions, but outside of being a good story, there's not much weight to that, okay? Unlike Kamala Harris, Breyer served as Supreme Court Justice for more than 30 years. I don't think so, okay, because I'm 32, okay. Clinton didn't take office until 1993. He was sworn in, January 20th, 1993. So I don't know about you, but I guess math's hard. Part of his retirement announcement, he spoke about the American experiment and expressed his optimism that it will continue to work. Well, that's nice. Is that next generation, and one that my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren, he's old, get it? And their children, there's the great, they're determine whether the experiment still works, and of course I'm an optimist and I'm pretty sure it will. Does it surprise you that that's the thought that comes to my mind today? No, nobody was asking. They were just wondering. It's like, oh fuck, thank God. Okay, the Democrats still theoretically have the votes in the Senate to confirm your successor, so it makes total sense where you're going to be stepping down now, all of a sudden seemingly out of the fucking blue, but hey, you do you. So Now we're going to get official saber rattling in the Senate, because remember, there's that nasty 50-50 tie that's in there. So Hawley says exactly what we were talking about and theorizing yesterday. Well, guess what? Don't get too fucking radical. Otherwise, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a real fight down there. Better hope all your senators are in good repute. But really, in actuality, okay, it's nice that Hawley's saying this. He's saying the right things, and he always does. He always says the right things. He always at least tried to bring legislation to the Senate. He's doing his job out there. He's not just one of these fucking Republicans who's out there flapping his gums. He's at least putting in the work. So when he says this, I take it with a little bit more respect than with your normal elected official. So Hawley warns Dems to expect a major battle if Biden nominates woke activists to SCOTUS. It's like, okay, that's nice, but then at the end of the day, the Republicans don't have the vote, okay? And don't anticipate anybody else crossing the fucking Rubicon to help you out, because you got the only other quote-unquote moderate that's out there, the guy who said, I could leave the Democratic Party and I could become an independent and then still caucus with the Democrats. So what the fuck are people simping for this idiot for? But then at the same time, they're also simping for that fucking peroxide blonde socialist out there who's right now, I don't know, on a good diet pill regimen and doesn't look like victim one of the bang bus anymore. But we need not drag her on this one, because if Manchin's going to be hanging out there, you know, the same bitch who voted for fucking Trump's impeachment, voted for HR 1, voted for gun rights bills. You think that she's going to fucking cross over and she's going to vote against somebody who'd be too quote-unquote woke? Get the fuck out of here. My beliefs won't prohibit me from supporting more liberal SCOTUS nominee, according to Manchin. No, that's good. I'm not going to vote with my conscience. I'm going to vote with my party. You got it. Suggested on, the Manchin suggested January 27th. That's today. That he's open to supporting a Supreme Court nominee who's more liberal than him. A good sign for President Joe Biden, who's going to need every fucking vote possible. In April of 2021, Breyer warned against such a scheme, arguing that it could erode public trust in the judicial system, and reinforced it in July, but then all of a sudden, I think I'm going to retire right now. I don't know, fucking weird, right? A slew of retirements and deaths during President Donald Trump's term allowed Republicans to gain a substantial edge in the nation's highest court. Replacing Scalia, Kennedy, and Ginsburg? Okay, so they picked up one seat. I wouldn't necessarily say an overwhelming. Have you seen the way that Roberts votes? Have you seen the way that Kavanaugh's following in his footsteps? I wouldn't say really picked up a substantial edge, but whatever. And again, theoretically, the Supreme Court is supposed to be a non-political... I almost said non-political entity without breaking a smile. That's funny. And many liberals have long been anxious to avoid the same happening to Breyer's seat. Breyer, now an octogenarian in his 9th decade on this fucking blue death sphere, has been pressured from some to step down and allow a younger liberal appointee to take his place. So we're going to see what the fucking happens, I guess. Let's see, the only vote that really matters, Manchin indicated during an interview with the West Virginia-based Metro News that he's open to a pick that's further to the left than he is. How left will they be? Well, quite. Just take a look at some of the nominees that are out there, okay? We went through a couple of them yesterday. They're funny people, to say the least. Even as Supreme Court nominees' battles have grown more and more partisan, Manchin has remained moderate in his approach to the presidential picks during Gorsuch confirmation vote. Manchin was only one of 3 Democrats who supported him. Later, Manchin was the only Democrat to vote for Kavanaugh, one of the most heated and controversial confirmation battles in Senate history. And they would have tried to press harder on ACB, but she a woman, you can't go that hard on her. In view of that, Manchin was asked on a Metro News talk line whether he expected he would support Biden's SCOTUS pick. Manchin refused to give a commitment, indicating that he would make a decision after the nominee had gone through the normal confirmation process. He then noted that he supported 2 of President Donald Trump's 3 SCOTUS nominees. He said were all competent and qualified. He voted against the confirmation of ACB over concerns about the proximity of the vote to the election, and felt that the inappropriate to confirm a pick so close to the election. So why would this change now? Why do you think he wouldn't vote with the Democrats? Oh, he's so moderate. Fuck off. But the bottom line is, you look at the qualifications. If the person confident enough to do the job. I'm looking forward to whoever Biden's pick is going to be. LaQuanda, LaQuisha, I don't fucking know, don't really care. Wendy Williams, I hear she's not going back to her talk show, so maybe you need to fit her for an extra large robe. She's a big bitch. Make sure the rule of law is the Bible they go by. Yeah, I don't really care, okay? It just needs to be black and female, okay? It's terrific how all the liberals on the Supreme Court now are just going to be women. Sotomayor, Kagan, Biden's pick, Roberts. Still, Manchin gave no commitment that he would vote for any nominee that Biden sends to the Senate, and potential objections by Manchin are sure to be the forefront of the president's mind as he goes down the roster of potential candidates. And we shan't go over that again because it's probably going to be the bitch who's like, oh, the Donald Trump can't be a king. Oh my God, it's Slay Queen. Fuck off. But we'll see. He's supposed to announce by the end of Black History Month how it's symbolic because Joe really can't have an original thought in his old fucking rattly head. God knows there's enough space up there for him to ferment one. But until then, yeah, we'll probably put this on ice for a minute. I don't know. No use speculating until we get something a little bit more concrete. But Biden also said that he isn't going to be releasing a concrete list of candidates. But if you're a fan of the liberal justices on the Supreme Court, I suppose today was a dark day for you. But hey, if you're still going to be a fan, it's going to be darker days ahead, I suppose. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.